With the NFL playoffs in full stride and the NBA season continuing on, the shot clock is on, and it's time to ball. I'm Matthew George. Hello, everyone, and this is a new series I would like to read to you guys, so I hope you guys enjoy. Well, we're going to recap two of the notable NFL wildcard games that happened over the weekend, as two of them were underdogs, and these teams were able to win and continue on into the playoffs. With the other two teams, what's their futures? And what's going to be the future for them? And next thing, we're going to bring up two upcoming games from the NBA and from the NFL. So let's get started. First notable game we're going to be talking about is the AFC wildcard game of the Cleveland Browns and the Houston Texans, as Texans take down the Browns 45-14. Did anybody see this coming from CJ Stroud? 3 touchdowns, and also throwing to his number one receiver in Nico Collins. I mean, this guy was slinging it downfield at every single offensive possession from the Houston Texans. Downfield into the red zone to be able to get a touchdown for the Texans. I mean, you see here that he's been able to pinpoint one of the best defenses, if not the best defense in the NFL, in the Cleveland Browns. Yet CJ Stroud was able to clear space, throw the ball, and also hit right there with Dalton Schultz. It is unbelievable to see that this team has been so successful, and that CJ Stroud is definitely a clear favorite to win the Offensive Rookie of the Year. No doubt about it. Now it's just a matter of the next game. The upcoming game of the Divisional Round game against the Ravens. I mean, this is going to be a one way or another. This is going to be a successful season for the Texans. I really would like to see the Texans continuing on, but again, against Lamar Jackson, it is going to be a tough task ahead from them. But definitely put this season as successful for the Houston Texans, because CJ Stroud proved that he is a formidable quarterback in this league. Sling the ball with confidence and be able to win games for the Texans. Next thing we're going to talk about is one of the more controversial games, as one of their head coach is still going to continue on with the team. He's not going to get fired, and that's Mike McCarthy and the Cowboys. But they lose in the wild card game against the Green Bay Packers, losing 48-32. Did anybody see this game being so high scoring? I didn't, especially since Jordan Love and Aaron Jones had 3 touchdowns. Jordan Love threw for 3 touchdowns. Aaron Jones with 3 rushing touchdowns. Pickpocketing the defense of the Dallas Cowboys. And not only that, Jordan Love finding a way every single time, slinging the ball downfield and from the red zone and down the field, just sidearming it and just be able to hit every single receiver. It is unbelievable to see that the progress of Jordan Love was making. A lot of people were thinking that this guy that the team, and he was not going to make it to the playoffs. They were complete underdogs throughout the entire season. Aside from the win that they had against the Bears, that were completely dominant. I mean, other than that, this guy was very questionable throughout the entire season. And now they made it to the playoffs and won again against one of the better teams, quote unquote, one of the better teams in the NFL. It's going to be a tough task, though, for Jordan Love and the Green Bay Packers, as they're going to be facing the 49ers in the divisional round. That is a big task for Jordan Love, because the defense for the 49ers is much better, and to be honest, that the 49ers team is my favorite to win the NFL this year's Super Bowl. Now on the other side, though, what is going to happen with the Cowboys? As we saw earlier this week, Mike McCarthy then reports out that Mike McCarthy is not going to get fired from this team. They're keeping the entire staff, and no one's going to get fired. Jerry Jones, the GM, is not going to get fired, nor Mike McCarthy. But we know the history of this Cowboys team. Since 2018, they have lost every single round. From the divisional round in 2018 to the wildcard game against the 49ers, they lost in 2021. Last year, they lost against the division round against the 49ers. And now they lost again in the wildcard game against the Packers. What is this team's future? Are you still going to keep Dak Prescott? In my opinion, I don't think so. You've lost so many games with this veteran of a quarterback who's supposed to be good. And yet he's making so many mistakes, especially in crunch time in the playoffs. He threw 2 interceptions against the Packers. I don't know how you do that, especially since you're a clear favorite to win against the Packers. That's unbelievable. The front office has to figure out a way to win games and go back and win another Super Bowl. For some reason, this team is not working. With Tony Pollard, CeeDee Lamb, you have one of the better running backs in the game, one of the better wide receivers in the game. Yet Dak Prescott seems to make a mistake every single time when he tries to throw the ball. So where is the future for this team? I believe, in my opinion, they should just move on from Dak Prescott. Although the problem is that his contract is massive. He's going to be paid $16 million next season. I don't know if there's any team out there that wants that kind of contract, despite how good Dak Prescott is. I think the future for the Cowboys is going to be in a little bit of shambles here, unless they try to figure something out. Do you go with Trey Lance, just start over? I don't think so either. So they're in a bit of a rock and a hard place. So it's going to be interesting to see how everything goes with the future of the Cowboys. All right, we'll preview 2 games coming up this weekend, one in the NBA and one of the continuation of the divisional rounds of the NFL playoffs. All right, it's time to take a timeout. Hello everyone, again, welcome to the Charger Shot Clock. I'm Matthew George. This is going to be a new series that I want to try to bring out for you guys in terms of sports content. So relating to relating to any recaps of games, previewing games, and giving you the odds to give a little money in your pocket as well. There's going to be a lot of content, especially since the NFL playoffs are continuing on. The NBA season is almost halfway done. NHL games are continuing on, and the bulk of conference play is continuing on for college basketball, for both men's and women's. So we got a lot of content for you guys, a lot of content and a lot of updates and news that we want to bring down for you guys as well. So this will be something I'm going to try to implement hopefully once a week. Be sure to check down my social medias and Discord as well. We're gonna bring out alerts for you guys. I'm gonna alert you guys when the next stream or when the next recording will be, and will be uploaded to YouTube and Twitch as well. So be sure to follow me on Twitch, youtube.tv/SergeantSlab, and on the YouTube as well. You should also check me out on Discord, because we have alerts on there as well of when all of those recordings / streams will be happening. All right, without further ado, let's continue on. All right, two upcoming games, one in the NFL and one in the NBA that we're going to preview here and give you the best odds and put some money in your pocket maybe as well. But let's go first off in the NBA as two teams have traded players for each other, and they're going to be facing off this weekend on Saturday as the New York Knicks and the Toronto Raptors are facing off against each other and the Garden as the Knicks come in 25-17 and the Raptors at 16-26. And as you can see, two players that got traded and are playing respectively well, individually well, I should say, for their respective teams. But as we let's go over the trade overall between these two teams. Malachi Flynn, Precious Achiuwa, and the big one from the Raptors with OG Anunoby gets sent over to the New York Knicks in exchange for RJ Barrett, Emmanuel Quickley, and a 2024 second round draft pick. So both teams have been able to be successful on both the fronts. However, it's looking like the clearer winner for this team and for this trade is the New York Knicks. In the last 9 games, the New York Knicks are 7-2. Yeah, that's right, 7-2 since this trade, and they recently just won last night and won today as of this recording on January 18th against the Wizards of 113-109. Unfortunately, on the other side, the Raptors just lost 6 points. The Raptors lost 6 points by 6 points against the Chicago Bulls, and the Knicks want to win now. That's what they want to do, and bringing in a guy like OG Anunoby, this is the best. I think this is one of the better trades that the Knicks have made in a very, very long time. He brings in a defense that I think that head coach Tom Thibodeau has been looking for a very long time. I don't think he would have been able to get that with RJ Barrett. So with him coming into the mix, and now since the last few games, the New York Knicks have been the best team. Yeah, the number 1 ranked team in terms of defensive rating. Who would have thought that the Knicks would have been better with just one player? Yet the trade was very impactful, and now they're winning so many games now. And if I'm not mistaken, including this win against the Wizards, the Knicks are in 5th place in the Eastern Conference now. They have won their last 2 games. They have won 2 straight. They have won 8 out of the last 10. Look out, Eastern Conference. Could this be the trade that the Knicks needed to get themselves over the hump to win when playoff time comes? Julius Randle has been playing a lot better since RJ Barrett has left. He's been putting up 30-point games, and this team as a whole with Jalen Brunson, and now Isaiah Hartenstein. Who saw this guy coming in, averaging over 15 rebounds a game? Let alone he's also having a block per game as well. Forget the scoring from him. Like this guy is a defensive menace. Who knew that from coming into the season? Guy was drafted from Houston. Was basically a role player throughout his entire career, and now he gets his starting spot because of the injury from Mitchell Robertson. This guy is impactful, unbelievably. And now they're sitting again. Like I said, they're facing their 5th place in the Eastern Conference. This has to be the run for the New York Knicks, or they're just gonna have to do something over the offseason to get better. All right, before we end it off here, let's talk about the Sarge's game of the week, and that is going to be the NFL game, the AFC Divisional Playoff game of the Kansas City Chiefs and the Buffalo Bills. And the Bills are favored at -152 against the Chiefs, with a spread of 2.5 and over under of 45.5. As you can see there, the Chiefs are 2-3 against the Bills and in the playoffs all time. The Bills are 8-10 against the spread. Meanwhile, the Chiefs are 9-7 against the spread. The last time these two teams met, the Chiefs were dominant, while they still had Tyreek Hill, and 38-24. But now it's a different game overall. Now it's a different team overall for the Chiefs. They don't have a receiving core. Patrick Mahomes is struggling each and every time to try to get a receiver downfield and actually make a play. We see it time and time, and throughout the season, honestly, it baffles me that they actually even made the playoffs. This team is great. Don't get me wrong. Patrick Mahomes is one of the better quarterbacks in the NFL. The same thing that goes for Travis Kelce. But now it comes down to the wire. This team can actually continue to make a stride and make another run for a Super Bowl. Do I think that's gonna happen? No. I pick it's gonna be with the Buffalo Bills. This team is much more complete per se. If Josh Allen doesn't throw in an interception or so, this team is much more complete compared to the Kansas City Chiefs, and hence why the Bills are favored. So it's going to be an interesting game. This is going to probably be the game of the week and probably the game of the year, to be honest, depending on what Super Bowl matchup we get coming up in February. All right, as we wrap up here, be sure to check out all the social medias in the link in the description, as well as subscribe to the YouTube channel, and be sure to follow on Twitch as well. We're going to be implementing a lot more content in terms of sports for you guys, in terms of game recapping, game odds, and also upcoming games as well throughout the NFL playoffs, the NBA season, college basketball, and even the upcoming season for the MLB. Thank you guys for tuning in. Game, set, match.